yeah, I think that's it for this lake here, and I think it's time for me to chill and be peaceful and figure out what to do next. I think we have a couple of directions. One is the footwear for sure, right? I think I don't have a suitable footwear from these two trips, and this stands for a lot of people. It's not the hikers, but I think it's more travelers. Yeah, I will differentiate, hikers and travelers. Yeah, even I'm kind of uh, mixing two roles right now, but I'm actually more tending to travelers. So footwear is definitely one thing. I think I got some ideas. What should be the proper footwear? You know, that, working for travelers, but we do need to find some reference and test it. And also, I think footwear in China is pretty challenging because there are, so many copies and there are so many um options, right? You have Nike, you have Adidas, you have Fila, and you need to educate the people. Like people think Nike, Adidas running shoe is doing the job, right? And how can you educate them and say this is better? That actually takes some effort to do it. And this is I don't think I'm good at it right now. And there's another thing is for the footwear, we all talk about the opportunity for the overseas market, but all these learnings, I'm experiencing and learning is pretty much based on Chinese, right? Chinese landscape, Chinese traveling, and then Chinese target consumers, whether this is something fitting for U.S. market or some other markets, I don't really know. So I don't know. Let's see. But I think we need to get to the prototype first. So that's one. And then the second one, I think that's a big deal. The big deal is the backpack. That's the pain in the ass. Like how much things you are taking, you know, in order to travel to climb the mountain. And also, for example, if you walk at the Great Wall, you want to kill yourself eventually because pretty much there's no exit. Now, once you get into the entrance, you keep walking, you get stuck in the middle, and then you are being very painful. Whether you still keep going forward and expecting to see an exit maybe 1 hours later, or you walk back, to the entrance you come. That is like 2 hours before, so you don't know. Like that's also an adventure in the Great Wall. I had been to Great Wall, I think 10 years ago, so I know that. At that time, I think I walked like 5 hours, and I walked to the end of the Great Wall actually, in the Beijing area. Yeah, which is really really awesome, and I'm really happy I did that because when you tell people, everyone been to the Great Wall, but very seldom people been to the end of the Great Wall. Yeah, so I think that's a perfect place to check out our shoes and also the backpack. And this time, actually, today the backpack is not that much because the roll is much shorter and I'm carrying much less, right? If I'm if I'm sleeping here and if I don't have a hotel to back up, then carrying all the stuff here is, I think maybe I need to double my time. I think, but I think still manageable. Yeah. But how to have the backpack fighting with the gravity? That's the system. I don't really have a hint, or I do have a hint because I do see, people carrying heavy stuff, those hardworking people. You see that, like, in order to bring the gas onto the mountaintop, like those guys is using bamboo as the backpack and then carrying the gas can, the big one, and climbing the main mountain, which is really, really astonishing. I think the peak is coming out. Yeah, let's keep talking and let's keep watching the peak. Um, yeah, that's really astonishing. But like that kind of system is quite ugly. I don't know whether we want it though. And but definitely, if there's a good looking system that can help you to feel the backpack is lighter, and I mean significant lighter, that is definitely a big deal. I think that cross all ages and that cross all countries. I think that's the big deal. And then the third one, I think, is like this place, like the trip. I think the trip and the hotel, or maybe not a hotel, or maybe a coffee shop. The coffee shop is actually something there. I think like it's not about selling the coffee. It's about selling the we call it we call it the tactic, like how you can get around this place that is not really at the like it's not the most popular place. It's like some kinds of secret garden, hidden place, and you need local people's advice. And even the driver take me to this lake today. He said he just been here, I think 3 years ago. So even for local people, they are not really coming here quite often. So definitely that is a good one that keeps the original, the virgin landscape of the place. And also for real travelers, I realize, people, especially when you are get to certain ages, you are not really that like you already experience all the family stuff, all the career stuff. Now you really want to have some good friends or lovers, to experience the landscape, to see what's outside, and to really go beyond, go beyond physically and mentally, I think. And this is some place you want to try to get to. And sometimes, the tactic on the internet is not that update already. Like, yeah, like people say they cannot take photos while they are riding the horse, but actually today a lot of people just taking photos and shooting videos, when they are taking the horse. So it's not a problem. Neither internet information is not update. It's not that updated, right? And then yeah, and then there's multiple times I met people that they take the easier way to get to the spot, right? For example, do the when they do the Ermey Mountain, they took the cable car to the Golden Top, and then when they are trying to go back to go downwards, they try to walk. They don't want to take the easier way, both sides. So that's the mentality to go beyond. And I, had a couple, that really consult me at the temple and say, hey, young man, like, if we want to walk down to the entrance, like, which is the road, how far we should walk. I said, wow, that's pretty far. I walked like 5, 6 hours already, and that's at least 20 kilometers. I think they are retired. They are like 60 years old. And they said, okay, no problem. We will try it. And, like we share ideas. We talk about trekking poles. I give them advice. Just, spend 10 RMB to buy two bamboo trekking pole. That helps a lot because it's really a long road, ahead of you. And I'm not being Joe, right? Because they can tell I'm all sweating, all around, like just taking shower. But they will just, keep going. I think and today, like today, when people comes up by horse riding, a lot of people actually walks down by foot because now people know it's not that challenging. And also for the Ermey Mountain, I also know why there's so many people walking down hills because for the downhill, I actually take the easier approach, right? I take the cable car, and then pretty much you just trap in plastic box, and then you are just using the cable, traveling in the mist, nothing you can see, and you don't really pay that much effort to just sit on the mist, right? That's kind of when you experiencing career, when you are trying to go upper class or trying to climb the tier hierarchy stuff in the company, like that's all about fighting in the mist. I think that's the same. And when you get through all this, you want to really spend times with yourself, and I think that's the real travelers uh, mindset. That's I think above. I think we call it senior middle class. That's above 45 years old, something like close, like above my age. I'm the poor unlucky guy, right? That running a company that's not successful. Kind of challenging on my brand. That's why I try to walk away and chill, and I really finding this new experience. Yeah. So actually, when you are getting around these places, you need people's advice to better utilize your time, to get to the right place at the right time, and then with the right budget. And you don't want to rush to the place and then rush back, right? And you also don't want to miss the place. You want to get there and then just slow down, right? And then, yeah, and then come back whenever you want, when you are really fully recharged.